This episode of GuildCast is brought to you by Shutterstock. For 25% off on your account, just go on over to Shutterstock.com, make a new account, and make sure you use promo code Gamebreaker10. What's up, everybody? Welcome to GuildCast, episode 89 for October 9th, 2013. You're watching Gamebreaker. I'm Gary again, and coming up on today's show, we're going to talk about the updated Twilight Arbor. The big Halloween patch is almost here, and drama. For once, it's not the player's fault. It's good to be back. All that and more. But first, Mr. Richard Procopio joining us as always. How are you, sir?
I am doing great, Mr. Gannon.
Great to see you. And Mr. Matt Visual, how are you, sir?
I'm doing very good.
You have like an earpiece in?
Too.
You like CIA earpiece or what's going on there?
Oh, no. It's just
oh, your headphones.
Just regular headset.
Gotcha. That's your
CIA is a white one, isn't it? Like
NSA.
First over the ear.
Matt Visuals tapped in NSA. He's reporting us.
Yes.
With a voice like that. How have you guys been? I'm good to be back. I was away for a couple weeks. I'm back. You guys missed the show. Shame on you. Left you with two things to do. 2 episodes of GuildCast, and you only got 1 done. Check out the garbage.
You're off gallivanting, just seeing the world. No,
I know. You go out and you see human beings, and you come back sick. I have a sinus infection, so if I sound weird and I start coughing and sneezing, I'll try and do it off camera. For the past 2 days, every time I'm off camera, I'm muting myself and like coughing and sneezing, and so it's a little off today. But we're here.
We're here.
We'll
do the show.
We'll do it live, Richie. Do it live. All right, let's do it. So let's talk about the Twilight Assault updates. First of all, the big highlight of the patch seems to be the new Aetherblade path in Twilight Arbor. So what's the deal with this? This actually replaces the Fiona path completely, right?
Yes, the forward up path has been replaced, and you'll still get your achievements regardless if you didn't get the forward up path. Achievement, it's replaced with this, and that achievement is replaced as well. So if you complete this path, you'll get that achievement as well. So yeah, they redesigned, well, not redesigned, but they added a level 80 path to Twilight Arbor, and it's quite crazy. It's quite good.
Will anybody be missing that path that's been
Probably
replaced?
Not. We know it was one of the least played paths in the game, but there's still going to be people that say, hey, why didn't you just add a 4th path? Why did you take away content? So there is definitely that argument going on, but for the most part, it was one of the least played, and it actually had some bugs in it that even made it hard to finish. If you wiped in a certain point, certain things wouldn't respawn or they wouldn't reset. So it was a good path for them to choose, but people were going to question why they didn't just add a path rather than replace it.
What would be your response?
I mean, I could see. I enjoy this path. This is one of my favorite dungeons they put in, so I'm definitely not going to complain about it. I think it's okay that they revamp certain things like Tequaddle. They have to do a mix because there's certainly a contingent of the fans that do stand up and say, "Hey, stop replacing stuff that has been in the game forever and put out new stuff." So I definitely feel that argument, but as long as they do a healthy balance, I'm okay, because some of the things they need to go back and revisit, like the Zaitan fight, right? I want them to redo the Zaitan fight, so that's more of an epic. Yeah, I mean, so I like it when they revamp stuff, but I also like it when they put new stuff in. They need to just do both.
So tell me about how long is the dungeon?
Pretty long, I guess. First run in, without knowing any of the mechanics, just going in and learning everything, I'm going to say around 2 hours or less. Between 1 hour and 2 hours. Going back in, it might take you around 1 hour, I guess so.
It's not too bad.
Yeah. It's pretty long. Pretty long.
But
not as drawn out. Not as drawn out as the other ones were. Like, the one that comes to mind is the Flame and Frost Prelude, how that one was kind of long. It was really good, but there was that part. There was like those slow parts, like with the slaves and stuff.
Yeah.
It felt like this dungeon didn't have those slow parts. You know,
it's chunked up much better. Yeah, the pacing is much better. There's like little puzzles that you go through, and there is trash, which I think is good for a pacing of a dungeon. But they really kind of hit it. At least for me, there's not one part that just it's like, oh god, no, not this part again. You know, there's things that you don't like less than other parts, but overall,
the pacing seems really, really well thought out and really good. I'm seeing a lot of people in chat saying 4 or 5 hours.
Well, we're talking about if you're pugging it. This dungeon is rough to pug.
Oh my god,
it's rough to pug.
Friends don't let friends pug. Don't forget that.
Yes, that should be a T-shirt because I used it looking for group tool, and man, it was a headache. That
could be a Gamebreaker Nation T-shirt right there. Maybe let's make it. Maybe that'll be the first Gamebreaker Nation T-shirt. Friends don't let friends pug. Join the Gamebreaker Nation. And we just came up with a shirt there. The story looked pretty interesting leading up to it. Kaith versus Scarlet. I don't want any spoilers. No big spoilers, obviously. But is it any good?
Story-wise.
Story-wise.
We actually can't really even spoil anything. So what's cool about it is. Apparently, we don't know anything about this yet, but apparently Kaith was lured there because Scarlet has some dirt on her. She's like, I know something you did, and I'm going to tell the world, so you got to come here. And we don't find out what that is yet. It's kind of left with a cliffhanger, but that's really interesting that Kaith wants to go and beat the snot out of her now, but we don't know what it is. What's this secret? Is she involved in something bad? I like it. It's kind of
is it set up quite sort of with a lot of intrigue and mystery? Does it actually suck you in and make you want to learn more about the story and kind of keep it going on? Or is it just sort of like, it's sort of there, but whatever?
It's sort of there. For me, it's just sort of there. It's cool. It's definitely cool. And Kaith is 9 your way. She's like off doing her stuff and helping when she can, but she's not just dying and you have to sit there and revive her, which is a good thing as well. But I don't know.
They kind of did a little bit of a Disney ride thing to it, right? So you talk to Kaith in the beginning, like picture yourself on like Splash Mountain, right? And like
I love Splash Mountain.
Splash Mountain's great, right? You're on Splash Mountain and like you have the Brer Rabbit and stuff like that, and the Brer Fox and the Brer Bear, and they kind of come out as you ride through them, and then they go away for a while, and then as you get to another part of the dungeon, Kaith is up on like a little ledge and she talks to you a little bit, then she goes away for a little while. So it's kind of like you're going through the ride and she keeps appearing rather than being constantly in your way and dying by everything that gets thrown at you. So it's kind of fun.
Right.
What's your favorite Disney ride? Pirates of the Caribbean? It's a big favorite.
I love Pirates of the Caribbean.
I know, but they've revamped it. They've added Johnny Depp now to it, which
they added Johnny Depp.
And I don't know. I'm kind of an old school, Pirates of the Caribbean kind of guy. I don't know how I feel. I like Pirates of the Caribbean with Johnny Depp, but I just don't know how I feel about him at the ride. I don't know.
The essence of the ride is still the same. It's still. So I still love that ride.
For me, I went to Disney World when I was a really little kid, and that's when Back to the Future was hot, and I went on that ride.
It's gone.
And it's gone.
Back to the Future.
I know.
Was it at Disneyland? I thought that was a Universal.
No,
Back to the Future. Back to the Future was Universal in California.
It was Disney World, but it was in the Hollywood Studios.
Okay.
Yes, you're right. That was a great ride. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to go to Universal. You know, it's another good one.
Crazy for a kid to see.
Go to Universal Studios. They've now got the Simpsons ride, which is like kind of comparable
I did
to
that.
Oh, fantastic!
I love those rides, man, because I get motion sickness a lot more than I used to, and I still feel it on the Simpsons ride, but it's not as much, and you get to enjoy. It actually feels like you're on a roller coaster without the fear of dying. You know.
This tangent was my fault, by the way. Sorry.
Yeah.
What are the bosses like? Please don't tell me it's Tank and Spank.
No. Well, I guess we could talk about the first boss. Well, the first major boss. You fight Slick and Sparky, right? And then there's this ooze, because the new mechanic is that these oozes, and you have these pheromones, and the ooze follows whoever has the pheromones on them. And if you kind of tap them a little bit, you attack them a little bit, they also follow you as well. Well, at least in this part. So if you're supposed to guide the ooze, because what happens is Slick is putting down oil, and there's a certain stack that comes up. It's kind of like agony, resistance, and it chips off every couple seconds. And you're supposed to get all the oil off the floor. If you don't, then the stacks will build up, and your whole party will start taking a lot of damage. So you're supposed to guide the ooze across the oil, and the ooze will suck up the oil, right? And in the meantime, you have the other 4 people who don't have the pheromones on them to attack Sparky and kill Sparky, and then you kill. Well, I haven't seen other strategies, but that's at least the way that's what I did. And it was actually pretty fun, and really challenging, especially at near the end. He starts throwing out all these oils all over the place, and the guy who has the pheromones has to really focus and try to get all the oil off the floor, because if they don't, like, the whole party just gets destroyed pretty much.
The big question, though, here, the most important question: does Scarlet hook up with Kate's evil ex-girlfriend?
No.
No.
There's not. Foul Lane's not
Missed
even really
opportunity.
mentioned. I know.
Yeah.
Missed opportunity. All right. So overall, is it fun? Is it a good addition to the game? Richie, you seem to be in love with it. You said it's your favorite addition.
Yeah, I think it's great. It's a really fun dungeon, and one of the best things about it. Now, I haven't actually gotten anything good out of this dungeon yet, but there's a chance, right, from any of the creatures in there to get new special nightmare weapons with a different look to it than the original. And and I've been in parties with people getting some things like this, and I really like that. It's different than the other dungeon paths, because that was one of my problems I've always had was, most of the stuff that you get out of doing the dungeon is from the tokens, right? You get tokens for running the dungeon, then you buy the armor and weapons you want with the tokens. So you can literally have a dungeon run where you go, well, I know even if I do this dungeon, I'm not going to have enough tokens to buy what I want. So, you're not going to get anything out of it except for such like that. But I like the fact that there is a chance for creatures to drop things in this and actually make it lucrative or fun or exciting. So I definitely like the mechanics of this dungeon, but also the reward system they put in place.
I really don't like the rewards. Like, the rewards.
Too bad, Matt Visual.
The rewards are so low compared to how long it takes to complete the dungeon. I don't want 2 gold for doing.
He's all
such
about
a
the
long
loots,
dungeon.
man. He doesn't care about the story. He doesn't care about hooking up with the ex-girlfriend.
The story? There wasn't much story.
He just
The
wants
mechanics.
more
The dungeon
back,
was fantastic.
Just give him more
but the
backpacks.
rewards are not.
He just wants more back pieces. Come on.
Well, I already got my back piece.
one.
I'm good.
They
I'm
give you
done.
one for doing it.
Of course
Yeah,
they do.
that's it. That's all you. It's not enough, man. I'm just saying, it's not enough. I'm a part of that percentage. I wish there were especially with all this hard content. I wish they had. I know people don't want another currency, but maybe another currency or something incentive to complete the dungeon and then get something really nice for completing that long dungeon. I would like to see
example.
People
Give me an
theory
example.
craft.
What would you change about the rewards of this dungeon? I'm just curious.
Well, you could. What they could do is this is probably going to be a thing, right? Where they do level 80 paths for each dungeon, right? Explorable mode. I think for a level 80 path that you should have a chance to get rare skins or exclusive skins or tokens that will get you ascended weapons, or not weapons, but maybe gear in general. Or add that you can get a certain item that you need for ascended weapons for the crafting, right? You can use these tokens and make these tokens extremely low, like 1 token, and
Okay.
then.
So, but what does that do? What that does is it makes it so you have to grind the hell out of that one instance to get the token, and people will do it, and everybody will have those same skins that you're putting on the vendor, right? Because you just have to do it enough.
But they need to add something that's not RNG. Well, a chance to get a weapon? We're just gonna keep farming that over and over again until you get it? Hey, I'd rather just buy it. I'd rather just farm somewhere else and buy it. I guess that's just me, though. Maybe this content wasn't really aimed in my direction.
Yeah.
I think that's really what the issue is, and it is my opinion on it. It's just not worth it for me to go in there. I'd rather just farm somewhere, not farm somewhere else, but just do something else to get more money. If I'm doing that for the money, if I'm doing it for the experience, or showing someone the dungeon, that's totally different.
Rich, you know what he said? You know what he really means when he says he'd rather just farm? He'd rather just exploit. He just wants to.
Right. Right. Right.
I'd rather just
the
serve a
snowflakes
farm
are still out, man. When today's coming.
I kid. No, I said the highlight of the patch. This was like the highlight of the patch, but really, it's kind of the only major piece of content in the patch, isn't it?
Yeah, that's pretty much.
There's not really much else to it. I mean, so keeping that in mind, does it feel like it's enough? Does it?
Well, not every patch needs to have everything. I come to terms with that. You know, it's like it's every 2 weeks. You know, so they can add something every once in a while. But yeah, it is kind of small, definitely. You know, from all the other patches we've been getting this last couple patches. But I don't know. I feel that it's all right. Like they need to show. You know, they can't add everything every single 2 weeks. Like that. That's a lot of work. You know, so if they miss one day, you know, that's fine. And it seems like we're gonna get a big patch the next 2 weeks for Halloween.
No, man, no days off, no vacation days, no sick days, no weekends. Everybody works 20 hours a day.
We have to keep in mind that the World versus World season was supposed to start already, and that was probably going to, you know, they're going to come out with a new dungeon and the start of World versus World season 1, and that would be plenty. They had to delay that to, I think, the 18th? Yeah, 18th. So that patch might seem a little bit light.
So probably seems a little bit light, but like you said, the initial probably timeline and path of what they were on a trajectory for would have been quite a lot going on at one time for everybody to handle. There was a free trial going on when the patch was released, right? Was there anything going on in the open world for new players? What were they doing there?
No, they didn't add any open world stuff.
No, nothing going on there. What about what? No. So what's in the Aether dungeon chests that you could open with keys from the open world, right?
Greens.
Yeah,
nothing special.
Loot was, no,
nothing.
The loot.
That's why I said the loot is bad.
No,
the keys.
The loot from those chests is terrible. But what I like about it is this is what's interesting, and it's worth mentioning because I haven't seen anything like this before in one of their dungeons. When you beat the boss, it immediately spawns a 10-minute event that's totally optional. You already get all your rewards for doing the dungeon, and then there's this 10-minute event, and there are 5 things that you need to do in 10 minutes or less. One of them is unlocking all 5 hidden chests in the dungeon. You need 5 people with keys. You got to run and find these chests. And then you have an event to hold off a bunch of enemies. You have an event where you have to use an EMP grenade to take down Aether Blade shifts. One person can follow, or more than one person, but usually it's one person can follow Cave to a hidden room and fight a mini boss, and and the group can also take down a captain before he escapes. If you do all 5 of those things,
that sounds like a fun little spin on everything. When you think you're sort of done with everything, now you've got like 5 more little scavenger hunt and kind of horde mode thing, and a bunch of other little things going on. That sounds pretty cool.
And the first couple times you run around like a chicken with your head cut off. You have no idea what you're supposed to do, and then you're getting achievements for doing this. And then and now we've got it down to a science, at least the group that I go with, and you know, we bang all those things out, and we get extra champion, chests, champion loot bags as a result. So it's a fun little thing. That's kind of interesting. So I don't know that the Aether, I don't know if the Aether chests are meant to really just give you a lot of loot. It's just part of this extra event.
So what?
There's and you can also buy them on a trading post as well. You can buy the keys on a trading post. So. Yeah.
There's also some extra shiny versions of the nightmare weapons in the new path, right? So did any of you guys get lucky and nothing?
No. It seems pretty cool. I like the idea of them having recolored skins or skins with new effects that can drop from the dungeon, because the ones on the vendor everyone can just access just by running the dungeon. So it's cool to have a mix of you get the tokens so you can buy things, but if you get lucky then you get the cooler glowy version.
Yeah.
Tequatl also got to see they buffed some of the loot on Tequatl to fall more in line, I guess, with the difficulty changes. So is it was it a pretty significant boost? I mean, do you know what's actually changed?
They said that there's a greater chance to get the sunless weapons. There's greater chance to get some of the rarer things. But I haven't been able to beat Tequatl again since the first week. So I haven't.
That's the thing. Yeah. That's the thing, because it spawns every couple hours, and I mean, are people there? No, like for the people who want to do it, they need to learn where everyone is. You know, that of course not everyone's going to want to do it, right? And that's why you don't see anybody there. But I suggested this before, a message board, some way that people know that at this time, an in-game message board, that this time everyone's going to gather up and everyone's going to do this event and do the quaddle, and that will be the chance that everyone will be able to get like the loot that they want, right? Because you know, and it's cross-server and everything, so you know, not maybe your server is less populated and you don't have people who want to do the quaddle at a certain date, you know.
It seems to me that the random getting together and killing to quaddle is not going to happen much, if at all, anymore. But there are a few guilds that have sprung up that their whole purpose is to kill to quaddle a bunch of times a day, and they just allow anybody to join them. So there's a couple websites that have sprung up. They have a voice chat, and it sounds like a great way to do it if you really want to kill to quaddle on a regular basis. Join one of these guilds.
So my guess is that the loot buffs were kind of to try and help fall in line to kind of entice more people to actually keep it difficult, but entice people to actually go after the hardest boss in the game and actually do this. But you guys are feeling like it's not enough. Like there's not even enough of a carrot on a stick for people to kind of really rally together and do this.
There's definitely enough of carrot on the stick. It's too hard to do it just willy-nilly. You can't just get you just can't have a random people just sitting there, you know, because you need like 60, 70, 80 organized people on a TeamSpeak with assignments, and you know, it actually needs to be organized. So as much as you could sit there all day and Sparkfly Fen just trying it every couple hours, you probably will never get a kill unless you're joining one of these quaddle killing guilds.
Yeah, you have to organize. Like there's no, let's beat on the boss, and no, because it's not going to work, because there's not enough people for it to be imbalanced like that. You know how we beat on champions? But
I guess what I'm getting at is, like, you say these guilds and groups that are kind of doing this stuff even on boards and stuff outside of the game.
Yeah.
Why isn't that good enough? Like maybe ArenaNet actually want to sort of like cultivate that a little bit and have players sort of be a little bit more integrated into the game to help. I always call this, like, I actually like stuff like this. I like when there's things in games, like especially in MMOs, that then allow players to sort of take the ball and run with it to some extent. So it's like maybe they're okay with not everybody taking this down, and maybe they actually want you to meet some of these people in these groups that are willing to form these groups and take them down and kind of be a little bit more social. So maybe it's engineered like that. Maybe they want it.
That's good, and that's what. This is for the hardcore players. This is for the people who want that challenge.
Sure.
Who one little mistake and everything goes to hell. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what it should be, right? It's the hardest boss in the game. Not everybody should beat this. Like that's my point. Like it should be difficult. But what needs to happen?
But for the people who want to beat it, they need to know where to go. You see? That's kind of the issue. And what people see is like, oh, no one's touching the quaddle no more. Oh, it sucks. Blah blah blah. No, there's people doing it all the time. You just don't know. You don't see them. You know, and that's the. If there was a problem, that is the problem. Like people don't know that there's actually people actually defeating quaddle on a daily basis.
Yeah,
you know, and they need to go there. That's all.
They need to check.
Not many people are on the internets and looking up stuff and how.
Yeah. You have to go outside the game to find these things. You got to find forum posts or the Reddit threads and find these guilds and join them. And I agree that it's perfectly fine for them to have a boss like this that you need to join a guild. I mean, with the first week when everybody wanted to get their kills and check out the new content, you could just, you know, on the high population servers, you could find people just sitting there and waiting all day long and jump on their voice chat and get the kills. But now it's a different story. But it's great to see this because it's showing you what the multi-guild system can do, right? Like I have my main guild of friends and people that I play with each week, but I can join this Quaddle Killing Squad,
right?
And it's fine because I can join multiple guilds. So I like that. It really seems to be working with their guild model.
Yeah, I like the concept of this. I like this. I mean, I remember back in the day when we played old school MMOs, we always had to go out of the game. But we did. We had to do all kinds of stuff. You were much more outside of just the game and the official forums, and you were on other websites, finding stuff out, interacting with people, and that's kind of got away with a lot of stuff. Even like you see games like now, dungeon journal guides and video things, and like everything is kind of like jammed into the UI in the game. And I don't know. I'm a fan at least for this high end type of content for the people who really want it to have to just do a little bit more outside. It doesn't have to all be laid out for you right inside the game. And I like somebody in the chat room said, like this kind of shows like it's not just about, let me see how he phrased it here. I missed it. The chat's going by so fast. I don't know. I'll find it. It's something to the effect of it's not just about like servers. It's more about community. It's really about people talking to each other. I don't know. I kind of like this idea.
I really hope that they take the idea of the message board some way to show okay, all these guys are doing this. These guys, even for the people who like to role play, on this server, people are gonna have a naked party in Lion's Arch, and dance with their underwear on. It's like a way to show okay, this guild is gonna be doing this. Rich is looking at me where this guild is gonna be doing this time, and this event is happening this time, and it would kind of combine a lot of those people who are kind of don't know where to go to socialize, and it's just oh, these types of people are going to do this, and this is where you can get into defeating the Quaddle or going into any other PvE events or PvP or World v World events. Oh,
yeah, no, I see what you're saying.
Everyone's going to World v World. Yeah, everyone's going to World v World at 7 p.m. Be there. We're going to take Stone Mist, blah, blah, blah. That'll be a good way. And also, they could add a little tab about all the events, because not many people go on the Guild Wars 2 release site, so they can add a little tab that says, oh, these are all the events that are happening right now, and they can kind of put in the web page inside of the message board thingy on the event tab, and okay, this is everything that's going on. Because I remember, if I didn't look at this release page, I wouldn't know.
I'm gonna move on, but I can bring up 10 things that just makes that idea really bad. All right, it's tits and ass night over in World versus World. It's furries and our peers banging over. Yeah, let's move on. All right.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, you start leaving open event system in the game.
You destroyed my dreams.
You leave some open event system in the game like that for people to take and run with it. Forget it, man. We're gamers.
What's the difference with that with the looking for group tool? What's the difference? The looking for group tool, you can do the same thing.
You can advertise your party however you
can.
But ArenaNet cracks down on that stuff, so
yeah.
I
wouldn't mess with it.
I'm not touching it. All right, I want to talk about Blood Madness. First, I want to tell you guys about a great deal we got going on with Audible. That's right, I want to hook you guys up with a free 30-day trial and a free audiobook. If you guys have not checked out Audible, what the F are you waiting for? Get on over to audible.com/Gamebreaker. Make sure you use that URL. Sign up, make an account. Download the app to your iOS device, your Android, whatever you got, and you could be downloading a free book. You guys Lovecraft fans at all? Lovecraft fans? No? Wow. Really? What? Mountains of Madness? Come on. I highly recommend this one. Clocking a little under 5 hours. It is completely worth it. I'm a Lovecraft fan. It's a great one. Mountains of Madness is awesome. Love this guy's voice. Check out this guy's voice.
We planned to cover as great an area as one Antarctic season, or longer if absolutely necessary, would permit, operating mostly in the mountain ranges and on the plateau south of Ross Sea. Regions explored in varying degree by
voice.
Shackleton,
I can listen to this guy's voice all day long. It's great. I wish I had a voice that good. I wouldn't be doing GuildCast. I'd be reading books for Audible, making lots of money.
GuildCast's not good enough for you anymore?
I know.
Sorry.
Where's Shackleton?
Apparently it's not good enough for you guys and just skipped an episode. So apparently you're too busy out doing whatever you're doing, Mr.
It wasn't our fault.
You mean going to my child's play? That's
child's play, whatever. GuildCast, sure.
It'll be fine.
Check it out. Go on over to audible.com/Gamebreaker. Make an account. Download the app, and I want to hook you guys up with a free book. Yep, that's right. A free audiobook to get you guys started. If you guys have not checked out any Lovecraft stuff, I highly recommend Mountains of Madness. It's a really, really good book. It's a classic terror, classic horror fiction right there. Lovecraft, can't beat it. Check it out, Mountains of Madness, over on Audible. You can be downloading that as your free book today. Just make sure you go to the URL, audible.com/Gamebreaker. Love the Audible. All right, so on October 15th, Blood Madness is kicking off for Halloween. I don't know. What if MMOs worked like retail? We'd have Christmas trees up already, right? Christmas trees going up anytime soon? No. This is going to be actually a pretty significant patch, right? Because we get to see how they're going to build upon the existing Halloween content that we got to see last year. So this is like the first look at this whole big, grand scheme plan that we talked about episode after episode about how, the first year was all about building this boatload of content. Now they've kicked it up into gear with these really frequent patches, and now we're seeing the return. So gonna be interesting.
Yeah, it's cool because we've had the 1 year anniversary of launch, but this is actually going to be like the 1 year anniversary of the first content update, right? We had no content update until October of last year. So yeah, it's gonna be great to see all the set dressings are done. They've got some of the mini games already planned and some of the tech's already there. So what do they build upon it, and how do they make it different and unique this time? So I'm excited. This is gonna be fun.
So what's going on story-wise? And the Mad King isn't alone this time, apparently. So who's the Bloody Prince?
It's crazy. We never knew that Mad King Thorn had a son. He had 8 wives, many of which he killed. But yeah, so
nice
now
guy.
we have Bloody Prince Edric comes out of nowhere. So
which looks like the Joker, right?
I don't know if he looks like the Joker.
Doesn't it look like a Joker? The lipstick thing? Lipstick and the pale.
Oh, he kind of look werewolfy to me, but
werewolfy, really?
Depends on what picture you're looking at.
Oh, I only seen one picture of him. The one with the makeup, looking like Edward Cullen.
Oh, I
So it's
know.
kind of shrouded in mystery, but so what do we know? Is this going to center all around Lion's Arch again? Is that going to be the center of attention?
I would assume they have the decorations already done for that, right? If they, well, we'll
you see
move
the
it to another
cauldron already.
Yeah, we'll move it to a different city. Why not?
How about the
Lion's Arch.
Everyone's in Lion's Arch, so it's just like, unless they change that and they add like a whole bunch of mini games to Divinity's Reach, I don't see that changing.
How about the haunted doors opening all over Kryta?
Yeah,
that again. Yeah,
I think we saw that.
They had that last year.
Yeah. The Bloody Prince. So he's basically saying he's in charge of the Mad King's Labyrinth. So what do you expect there? Dungeon? Minigame? What do you think?
Last year, when the Mad King popped out of the fountain in Lion's Arch, it opened up an instance there. You remember they did this whole 4-act thing, and you had to be online at a very specific time, and they had that cutscene that ran only once, and there was all that, I don't know, there's all that drama about, oh my god, I missed it, I have to be online at a specific time. All that. So they haven't done that in a while, but I expect
stages.
Yeah. I expect that we probably won't have the same little mini dungeon that we did last year. Last year was really just kind of like a couple trash mobs, a couple jumping puzzle things, a little bit of Simon Says, and then you fight the Mad King. So it sounds like we probably will get a different type of boss fight against his son, which will be cool.
And for those of you who actually enjoy hating life, the Mad King's clock tower is back.
Yes.
Can't wait for that, right?
Oh yeah. Can't wait for another 6 hours of that.
Yes.
Can't wait.
There's a funny story about this, right? All right, so I'm doing a new series on my YouTube channel where I'm helping players come back to Guild Wars 2. Well, some guy contacted me on Twitter. He's like, I just watched your video. You inspired me to log back into the game. He's like, but I hadn't logged in since Halloween last year when I beat the clock tower jumping puzzle. He logged in the clock tower.
Shut up! Really?
And he could do the clock tower. Until he exited.
No way.
He could do it. I thought that was awesome.
That is pretty cool. Too bad he didn't have video of that.
I know.
Oh my gosh! So there's some way to get there.
Still exists,
wow.
Matt. Matt's got he's on a quest. He's like, I gotta figure out a way to get back in. That means all of the content is still online and it exists somehow.
Somewhere.
Everything.
Yeah. I thought that was it. I mean, he could be lying, but I thought it was a cool story.
Seems like something weird to lie about, but
good.
Finally, the Lunatic Inquisition. PvP as a village, desperate to survive, or sounds kind of interesting.
It's funny. I didn't know this existed before, and this was because in the beginning they didn't really have the release page that showed everything, and I don't know. I can't believe I missed all these events, all these mini games. I was just so on the clock tower.
The problem, Matt, is probably because they released things in acts last year. So it was like, they had a bunch of content, and then a week, a couple days later, and then a couple days later, and so you might not have missed what came out when. And I think by the time the Lunatic Inquisition came in, you could do the the clock tower and maybe even the boss fight. So it was definitely one of the less fun things, in my opinion, last year.
It's not like Southland Survival? That's what I have in my mind because I haven't played it. Southland Survival, but one team on this time, villagers against lunatics.
When you die as a villager, you become one of the lunatics, and the lunatics are more powerful. They're more powerful, and so it's basically it's a zombie attack. You got to convert everybody to zombies and kill everybody, and it's kind of like the last man standing. But
yeah, they kind of they did that in beta. There was something. Remember the robots, the Hunger Games. Yeah, sort of take on that. Yeah, for sure. So that's basically it for the content, I guess. I mean, on paper, I think it's a little hard. But what would you guys say? Can you kind of judge how much has changed from last Halloween?
I think a lot. I really do think. Like people say, "Oh, they're just gonna reskin it, throw it out there." I think they updated a lot of stuff and make things that look a little bit different. They still have the same mini games and stuff like that, but I'm pretty sure like the Mad King's Clock Tower, I'm sure it has like some type of changes, don't you think? I mean, maybe a different soundtrack, at least. But I definitely think there's gonna be more.
I think the part we don't know about is the living world part of it, right? They already mentioned the Asura Tassi, I think is her name. And she was able to give you kind of like, I don't know, like a ghost-o-meter to detect old spirits and different things like that. So there might be a bunch of activities, scavenger hunt things, and different things that are relating to the living world and the achievements and stuff. So there might be more content that we're letting on, that we're seeing. Right.
And they do things totally different than they used to. I mean, Living Story before was totally different. Totally different. Things were all over the place. Achievements were all over the place. Now they have everything in like sections. You know exactly what you need to get what you want. They're made an achievement reward, all that. Like, it's gonna be way different, I think. At least for the events being organized as well.
And we can get a candy corn node in our home instance.
Woo! Yay!
I expect there to be a lot of things that you can use with candy corn because they definitely gave out way too much candy corn and it became like a useless commodity. So I really expect the economists at ArenaNet to go balls to the wall with stuff to spend candy corn on to get some of that stuff out of there.
All right, let's talk about some of the features going on. I'm curious to know what you guys think of this one. Ground targeting has been improved. Is that really a problem? Was there a problem here?
It wasn't.
No, I mean we talked about this a couple weeks ago, I think, right? They're giving us new options, so you can keep the way that you're doing it now, or switch to the one where you can fire the ability wherever your mouse pointer is. But what else were they adding to that? I forget exactly. There was another change.
What, you mean the targeting?
With the ground targeting, like the little reticle thing.
Oh, you're talking about when you click a skill? Oh, I don't...
You're doing an AoE, when you're doing an AoE.
Right. That you automatically go where your mouse is? No, that's already in the game. That's already in the game. Maybe you have to click twice or something like that.
I'm having a brain fart. They're adding options for that, but
I've never
felt the problem with it, but it's probably more on the PvP side where it's more of an issue. You want to be able to fire things off quickly or have options based on how your key bindings are set up to actually fire it off differently and stuff like that.
Now, this next one here, I think people have been waiting for forever. This one's huge. Traits will now display actual numbers and skill tooltips will update dynamically. So depending on your traits. So
yes,
this is huge. People have been waiting for this since launch pretty much.
It's a big deal, especially for people who like to theory craft. I mean, this will make making builds a lot better, and you can actually, okay, you get this such and such % of healing if you use this, and you get all these boons, and you get more damage for having these boons, and blah blah. Like, Oh my gosh, so much better, so much.
It's like
better.
ArenaNet really want the player base to be using like a diverse selection of traits and skills, and it's like, oh my god, maybe if they actually see the numbers, crazy, right?
Well,
wow.
it gets more number crunchers into the mix, right? Because before, yeah, you could figure a lot of it out, but who wants to sit there and like strip their character naked, fire off the spell, put that trait in, see how much it improves.
The dummies and Lion's Arch.
It's a lot of work, So there's people that have gone through that work, but it'll be a lot better once it doesn't say like shall teal. It'll say shall teal for 500. Something like that. And by the way, before we move on, the chat room helped me out. It's you can you're gonna have an option on the AOE to fire off the AOE when you click, or you can hold and release, and the spell will fire off.
That's it. Yeah.
Actually, a lot of people like that. Different play styles. I guess that'll help with. Going back to skills and traits, though, a lot of balance updates coming to skills and traits.
Yeah.
I guess basically with a focus on like improving support builds. I think seems like something that was definitely needed. And finally, on October 18th, Dub v Dub Season 1 begins.
Yes. That's going to be fun.
Are you guys ready to crush your enemies?
Yeah. I feel like I need to transfer servers, though.
You going to do it?
Jump on that bandwagon, Matt.
A lot of my commanders left. A lot of the ones that I know. And I kind of wanted to cover it in some way. In some epic way. And I can't do that on Borderless Pass. It seems like everyone is like leaving and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure that's happening in a lot of servers.
There's been
going
with the Quaddle and now the World versus World season. I mean, my server Blackgate, it is swelled. I mean, we have overflow servers like constantly, no matter where you're going.
Wow.
Like a
Even
boss.
In the lower areas too.
Well, I mean, it depends.
Okay.
If Shadow Behemoth spawns, you get overflow in Queensdale. You can't even get in to kill the damn thing. So yeah, it's
Mad
constant.
visual time to reroll. No. Sounds like you need to move, brother.
Yeah, it does sound like that.
Get your butt over to Blackgate.
I was thinking about Turnish Coast or Blackgate too. Like a couple of my friends are there too. It's like, it's like
go somewhere where I can fight you.
Oh, okay. So Turnish Coast then.
There you go. Don't go to Blackgate.
But it's so expensive. Even though it's on sale, it's like $20. It's like $20 to move, man. $20, man.
Reroll. Start leveling. There you go.
What do you mean? Delete all of my 80s? No. My legendary? No.
You should do that.
No.
Start over. Screw that legendary.
No. I'll quit. I'll quit before I do that. Oh my god.
All right, next up, there was a bit of drama last week going on in looks like ArenaNet looks like an ArenaNet dev was being a dick to a group of players in game.
That's a strong word, Gary.
Yeah?
I don't think that was going on.
No? The dev in question seemed to be impressed by the players trying to set up some guild versus guild gameplay in WVDubs. He was screenshotted saying, "I'm watching you guys violate my game mode, so go nuts."
Yes.
Ooh.
So,
well, I mean, they were saying some bad stuff too.
You just muted yourself.
Huh?
You went mute there, didn't you?
Nah, he was fine with me. But
no.
Sorry.
They were saying some bad stuff too. Was what I was just saying.
Wasn't he? He's also kind of he was also urging. Wasn't he also like urging the offending players to like contact ArenaNet when?
Obviously, he wasn't professional. Obviously, you're not supposed to talk like that to players. Obviously,
right.
But it's not like the players were nice either. So
what's going on here? There's a little backstory that's needed, right? So there's a contingent of players who are very passionate about guild versus guild gameplay. It's a throwback to Guild Wars 1, a game mode that existed there. It does not exist in Guild Wars 2. So a community of players has created guild versus guild inside of World versus World. So what these guilds do is they get on forums and websites and they organize these matchups between guilds. They meet in a corner of a World versus World map, and they have all these rules like, all right, your team goes over there, your team goes over there, spectators go over here and get in your town clothes so you don't interfere. And then they have these try to do these organized battles. The problem is it's inside the World versus World rule set, so other players can come over and try to troll them. Other players can wander into them accidentally and
there's
not
also
know
bloodlust.
Yeah, and they don't. Yeah, exactly. They don't know, and again, it can impact the queue times on some of these places. So overall, it's tough to to support that community because they're impacting another community, and I don't play it. I don't know a lot about it, so I hate to misrepresent there, but if I misrepresented anything there. But it seems to me that they get a little bit sensitive about, okay, if players are ruining their experience, right? If they mess it up or they don't know what they're doing. And from what it looked like in the screenshots, they were talking to this ArenaNet dev before they knew it was ArenaNet dev. It was just some guy playing. It's like, you need to go over here. You need to stand over here. Stop doing that. You're basically telling them what to do and being a little bit rude about it. So it looks like this dev got a little miffed, put on his ArenaNet flag and said, go for it, you're ruining my game mode kind of thing. And yeah, it wasn't the most professional thing. But yeah, it's a little bit of drama there.
It blew up on the forums.
Yeah.
But I wanted to point out that the original poster actually got an infraction with his post.
Yes.
What was this for? I mean, I guess it was for like naming and shaming or something like that. I mean, he wasn't rude.
Well, the thing is that it says it's edited. The post was edited, so we don't know. I don't know what it originally said. I didn't see the thread until after that point. But yeah, there is an infraction because of that post. I'm not exactly sure why.
So senior design director Chris Whiteside stepped in and he apologized on this. He said, simply put, a big mistake was made by one of our employees, for which he is both very upset and sorry. He allowed his personal feelings to affect his interactions in-game whilst representing ArenaNet, and this is absolutely unacceptable. I would therefore like to sincerely apologize for this behavior on behalf of our staff member. We are taking steps to address the incident, and for his part, he is very sorry for behaving in the manner which he did. I guess decent apology. Interesting coming from somebody else and not from the actual person who did it, but still, I guess sincere apology. It was a long post.
Bad day.
Lot more than that, just the quote. So I don't know. What do you guys think of this whole thing?
People were saying, "Oh, I'm going to leave the game" and stuff like. Why? Why? They're human. I'm not backing ArenaNet, but it's just like people are human, and so are the GVG guys. They're gonna say stuff. Like they're irritated that GVGs are not in. They're gonna say stuff. They're human too.
Everybody's human. Everybody's got that 3 a.m. Twitter moment when you're like, "I hate you, internet." You bastards.
So it's like one guy says something bad, and then all of a sudden everyone wants to leave because of his post. It's just really stupid to me.
Seems really stupid. I mean, hopefully this just goes away. There's no like stupid wich hunt on this dev or anything because it's just one little thing. It's not really a big deal. Following up on that, on the subject of guild gameplay and why these players are doing what they're doing, Chris had this to say. He said, regarding guild gameplay, please understand is extremely important to us and an area we are paying a great deal of attention to. So please be patient with the developers who work tirelessly on making dub-v-dub the very best it can be. They have a great deal of respect for you all and value your collaboration in pushing this pioneering mode forward. Also, please note this member of staff is not on the dub-v-dub team. So, I don't know. I think
we don't know what he is.
We don't know. Yeah. I mean,
and the other thing to keep in mind, for anybody who's not aware, they're not going to come out and tell you what kind of punishments this guy gets.
No.
That's not ever going to be public knowledge. So,
but this doesn't even seem like it shouldn't even. No. It shouldn't be really punished. It's a slap on the wrist. It's like, hey, look, you had a moment, you got heated, things got out of control. Just seriously watch it next time.
I don't know, man. I do. When I was taking a tour at ArenaNet, there was that room.
Oh,
that room that no one speaks of. They're like, no, you don't need to worry about it. They closed the door, and I saw some stuff in there. All right.
I've only heard rumors about the room. What is going on
in the chat? What?
Oh my god. The interesting thing about that is it does sound like, it seems like a little hint that they are working on some sort of guild versus guild.
Oh, I think it's more than a hint. I think it's much more than a hint. It sounds like they're absolutely working on it,
Well, the thing that's weird about it is they're not separating it. They're not saying, hey, we realize this is an important game type and we're working tirelessly on it. It's like it says, so please be patient as we work tirelessly on making world versus world the best it can be. So are
Do you
they
think
going to integrate guild versus guild into world versus world somehow, or is there going to be a separate thing? I don't know.
Mute. Cough.
Mute, cough, back. Usually not on camera, but that time came too quickly. Yeah, who knows? I mean, who knows if they're going to interject it into WW, or they're going to do something separate or something. But it sounds like they're at least looking at this. I mean, if they see that many players rallying together and coordinating events like this, and it's popular enough, they obviously see, you know, a decent part, and they know, if this section of the community is willing to go through these, you know, hurdles and this much work to make this happen, maybe it's something we should pay attention to. So, obviously, do you guys think that does what's going on? I mean, what do you think of this emergent guild versus guild like WWC? Do you think there needs to be more guild versus guild kind of content in the game? Is it more guild activities in general?
It's named Guild Wars.
It is called Guild Wars,
and it feels like there's not much guild stuff in there right now. And the last big thing was like the guild missions, right? But we still don't have Last Online. But like I was talking to someone who has played GVGs before, and they're like, it was this big thing where, you know, more than 5 people were on a team and they battled it out on this map. And I would like to see that, like a smaller World v. World map with 2 keeps or something, and you know, you're supposed to capture the flag or that would be quite interesting to actually see in the Guild Wars 2 space. Yeah, go ahead.
We shall see. Sounds like they're working on something. They're working on something.
Yeah.
All right.
So.
I got a few more things to go over here, but first I want to tell you guys about, you guys have been waiting for the Gamebreaker Nation, been talking about it a bunch. I'm actually going to reveal a lot this week on Friday on the GBN cast. We do the Gamebreaker Nation cast. If you guys haven't checked that out, check it out. But I'll be talking a bit more about it in detail about what's going on with the Gamebreaker Nation. So big update this week that I'll fill you guys in on, so make sure to tune into that. But if you guys haven't checked out right now, you can actually go to GamebreakerNation.com. It is up to some extent. Well, it's coming soon, and you can add your email address in if you guys want email updates and things like that about the launch and the progress that we're making on it and where we're going with it. But really, I wanted to show off because I like to show off. It's amazing design work here. That's what I do. So actually, let me fix this so you can get the full effect of this amazing website that we've created with this lion with a crown.
Lannisters.
Like the Lannisters. So this is the Gamebreaker Nation site right now, and I wanted to put up like a splash screen and kind of come up with some cool, like, you know, artwork to kind of just give it a look and a feel. You know where this is going, right? Guess what I used for the artwork? Damn right we use Shutterstock. This is just one of the examples of, hey, there's no way I could come up with this like icon work and this stuff. Went right over to Shutterstock. Check this out. I typed in heraldry, and I started getting all these great like icon sets. Look at this stuff. Like, this stuff is great for your guild website, things like that. All kinds of ornate little leafy things, and, you know, shields, symbols. And then I started scrolling down. I started looking for some more stuff to use. And oh, look at that. There's Mr. Lion. Grabbed him. I like the lion. I grabbed that one. I kept going down. Found some other cool stuff. Elephant's pretty cool. Tigers are cool. Yeah, I found all this stuff right on Shutterstock. Of course. Oh, here's my other line with the crown. There you go, Lannisters. But that is just another example of, like I said, we use it like every day. And it's funny because I put Gamebreaker Nation up, and the first tweet I got back from somebody was like, I love the look and feel of the site, even though it's only a splash page. It looks awesome. Like, I couldn't make this stuff. And you know what it would cost me to hire somebody? Like, I want this awesome, like, lion with a crown. It's going to be great. Nope. Shutterstock. So if you guys have a guild website, or you're building a guild's website, YouTube page, whatever you got, I'm telling you guys got to check out Shutterstock. It's like our secret weapon here at Gamebreaker for all of our artwork and everything we do. So I want to hook you guys up with 25% off. All you got to do is go make an account over at Shutterstock.com. And you can make a free account. You don't need a credit card, anything like that. You can start searching for a bunch of stuff right now. Photos, vector artwork. They have video footage as well, all kinds of video footage. And then when you're ready and you want to sign up for one of their packages, either a monthly or you can download like a package of images, things like that. Want to save you guys 25% off. All you got to do is use the promo code Gamebreaker10, Gamebreaker10. Make sure you use it on the promo code on your checkout, and you will immediately save 25% on your account. Shutterstock.com. Once again, saving the day for Gamebreaker, as always. All right, so a few more small things to go over before we get out of here. ArenaNet has said they'll be going through almost every single skill in the game in the next few months, optimizing one by one. And they're saying that should hopefully help with server stability and skill lag and pretty much everything, right?
Yeah, this is a post from a few days ago. It's just big post saying, hey, this is what we're doing. We've already made a lot of improvements in optimization. And it's interesting that they say that they can actually tune the skills one by one, because I don't notice a lot of skill lag often when I'm playing, but it seems to always be the same ability that actually hesitates. And it's kind of interesting. So please get to the Signet Warrior, the elite skill, because that one seems to lag for me. But yeah, this sounds really cool.
And although they're still working on it, precursor crafting and additional legendary items are at risk of not making it in this year.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
This is very much this is very much
Mr. Johansson, I believe, is the one that said that.
he can't even speak. He can't even make. He's just making noises.
Oh, they can't do that. They promised.
Oh
They
no!
promised.
Good news. No. Possibly not going to make it in this year. I don't know. Good news or bad news, depending on how you really feel about gear progression.
Bad news.
Well, if it's not ready, then it's good news, right? You don't want to put it in wrong and broken and bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Matt doesn't care. He wants it broken and bad. Doesn't matter.
He's planning.
I mean, I already have my legendary, but I'm talking for the people who want it in, even though they think it's going to be easy to get, and it's not going to be easy to get. But still, I mean, he did basically everything on that list he made for looking forward in 2013. So, if he misses this, fine. But that one,
If it slips, it slips.
Yeah.
No,
like how
that one's been in development for a year. Like,
he's planting the seeds of disappointment though with this
He's-
post. It's so funny. He totally was, because
he doesn't want Matt to come back and be like, "Remember, you said it was
right.
going to be in." I mean, he's like, hey, they're communicating the fact that they obviously see that, hey, this kind of seems like it's in limbo. We just don't know if this is going to make the timeline or not. So they're setting it up right now. I mean, they plan these things months ahead. It just looks like this one might be teetering on possibly not ready. Hey, sad. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I guess it is. All right, finally,
Actually-
before was it?
I was gonna say, actually, it's weird. Like, I don't want it to be delayed. If at all possible, I'd want it sooner rather than later. But it's funny because I'm teetering on this. Do I just go for one of the legendaries that's there now, like spend the money, buy a precursor, and just get it done, or do I wait for there to be new legendaries or a new way to get legendaries? So that's been this debate in my head. So this post actually says, all right, you know what? I might be waiting much longer than I anticipate. So it actually might help you get a decision. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, oh man, maybe should I wait? I saved up all this money for Dawn. Maybe I should wait. No, I bought it, and I'm glad I did.
Yeah,
Is that the one you're sending? Is that the one you're sending to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he's getting.
It's not a compound. There's this new thing that I can split it up and send it to.
Last up and finally, before October 17th, moving to a medium population server is free. So moving to a medium pop is free, and moving to a high pop server has been discounted, like you were talking about before, Matt. So obviously, I think this has a lot to do with the WW season.
Yes, because and this is a public service announcement. Once the season starts, I think it's the 18th. Once the season starts, you are stuck on that server for the entire season. If you transfer afterwards, you can still transfer. I shouldn't say you're stuck on the server. You can still transfer afterwards, but you will not be able to join them in World versus World. You will be stuck on your old server.
You will be stuck.
So.
And public service announcement for everybody asking out there, the Gamebreaker Nation will be on Yak's Bend. Yak's Bend, Yak's Bend, Yak's Bend.
And they will lose.
If you want to switch and make your change, like you said, because you are going to be stuck on that server for the duration, Yak's Bend is where the Gamebreaker Nation is going. I can't tell you if we're going to win or lose, Matt. But that's where we'll be.
But it's got Yak in the name, and that's good enough.
Yeah.
Yak, yakety yak. All right, Matt Visual. Follow him on Twitter at Matt_Visual. Make sure to go over, check out his YouTube channel. All kinds of great Guild Wars 2 action over there on the YouTube channel. One of the best, top best YouTube channels on the interwebs for Guild Wars 2
That's
action.
right.
Matt
That is
Visual.
truth.
That is truth.
That's
I speak truth. I speak truth. You don't. You say Yaxben's going to lose. You lie. Richie Procopio. Follow him on Twitter at Richie Procopio. And, of course, go over to his Bog Otter channel on YouTube as well. Create all kinds of Guild Wars 2 content and all kinds of other good fun stuff. What have you been hitting up lately? What I can't keep up with you. You always got something new going on. What besides the Guild Wars 2, what are you doing?
Besides Guild Wars 2, Hearthstone is the new thing for me. I just got into the beta.
The new hotness. So Hearthstone stuff, Guild Wars 2 stuff.
I'm about 5 weeks late.
It's all right. It's not even out yet. You're not late. It's not even out. You're early. So get on over there. Check out Bog Otter, the YouTube channel. You can follow me at Gary Gannon. Follow Gamebreaker TV, Gamebreaker TV. We do the show live every Wednesday at 6 PDT. So kind of come over for the live show. It's a lot of fun. We hang out. We have a lot of fun joking around, pre-show, post-show, all that good stuff. And like I said, Gamebreaker Nation info this coming Friday on the GBN cast. So come over for that. That's at 4 PDT, right after This Week in MMO, which we do at 3. So This Week in MMO 3, GBN cast at 4. Lots to reveal about the Gamebreaker Nation. I think you guys are going to be surprised and got a lot to say. So we see you next week. Thank you so much for watching GuildCast. So many episodes. Almost episode 90. We're coming up on 100. It's crazy. Crazy. All right. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks so much for watching. You guys are awesome, and we'll see you next week. Oh, last up, before I forget, one more plug. Might as well tell you. Wildstar.tv. There you go. Go. Wildstar.tv. Done. Richie's on it right now. Wildstar.tv. Bye.